Tran's gonna try and set up with the arrow here. They have a vision. They have a ward behind, providing them a lot of vision here. Arrow.
Kind of hard with it being daytime. It'll fly across the lane past that. Okay, it's night now, but it's like IG having to back off. Something I imagine they're going to look for pretty soon is also Roshan with the TA. They've got the Mirana arrows. Should be pretty straightforward for them to look to bring down
And
Rosh.
here goes the smoke again by IG.
Let's see, where are they headed now? Look at the wards they have. This dire vision is just ridiculous. So many opportunities to, and you see Navi are just four-manning at the ramp. They don't feel safe to go anywhere.
Here we go. The wrap around. They actually
did steal traps.
They are thinking that they are hunting the Brood Mother down, so they are actually rotating towards the jungle, trying to find any.
And now Navi have found out that their stacks are gone. What a sad revelation. Both like this ain't my comeback mechanic. Where's my creeps, guys?
I'm pretty sure no one else did the camp.
Did you steal them, Dundee? Did you steal the main score? Arrow coming in. It's going to connect on Havane's score once again. Another easy takedown incoming. It would seem the living armor not sufficient. Oh, does lift. Won't matter. And now, Roshan perhaps the choice here for IG?
Yeah, they can do
straight into the pit.
They can do it very easily. Controlling the map right now. Using the spiderlings and the arrow to just make this Roshan easy pickings for IG. Well, they are on a roll. Objective after objective, gank after gank. Navi, like you mentioned, what is their comeback mechanic after the Ancients getting stolen by IG?
These heroes are just not very mobile. Like Luna, Shadow Fiend, they go off split pushing. It's not like you have a Morphling or, you know, some hero that's a Naga perhaps with a Radiance where they can safely acquire farm from a deficit.
Do you guys feel like it was the draft for Navi, like going for this kind of unconventional Luna Treant? Because Navi's early game, the lane seemed to go fine. Miranda couldn't find any ganks.
I think it was literally just Snowball. That one good rotation bottom, it seems.
Yeah, that rotation was very, very good. But at the same time, it's a Luna, so it's fairly easy to kill. Like if you compare it to maybe some other cores that people use now, like the teams are using now, the Troll, Medusa, those are much harder targets to get kills on like this.
It just seems like IG had a very clear plan. You know, as soon as the X gets a blink, everything unfolds. And this was with them missing all the ganks. In theory, they hit some of those arrows mid. You know, to be honest, that was not characteristic for Tron to hit not a single arrow in the laning stage.
Yeah, it wasn't even the fact that they hit so many arrows that resulted into the snowball like this. It was just one of the worst case. He missed all his arrows when he was shooting them at Dandy, but they still resulted into this type of situation where the X snowball out of control, stole the stacks, and now IG is so far ahead because of all those good decisions that they make.
Yeah, I feel like the Brood pick, as much as Lua kind of fed in the lane, his play wasn't good, but the pick in general and the strategy around it was what's really strong about this hero, because you know your axe is going to only ever be against the Beastmaster. Navi's supports were stuck dealing with the Brood. They can't really help Dendi. They can't really help the off lane. The Brood pick just by nature is good even when you're kind of getting caught out a lot.
Yeah, strategically when you've got these good map control heroes, that's where it shines. Because you know at some point you're going to get a Mirana arrow gank, you're going to have an Axe Blink call that succeeds. And we saw that first fight, they get the kills, and then it's not just that, they take the tower as well. And then the jungle's open for Broodmother.
This game, Navi has to rely on the Beastmaster though. Beastmaster should be the guy that actually finds a pick-off or two for them to actually allow them to get back into this game. He's going for a Necrobook first. I was actually expecting a mobility item like a Blink Dagger first, but he's going for the more pushing and split push type of item, the Necrobook.
This is the build that Fada prefers.
Oh no, he's gonna get disrupted. Oh, Blink Hall instead.
Surrounded now. Arrow coming in hot from the rear, and despite the living armor, Funnick will go down, chopped and finished off, and they look for the second kill. But Dendy will TP out in the nick of time. And in case you didn't know, Dendy has a mechanism. Thank you, Swado.
Friendly Spanish casters, I believe.
Why don't we inform them that the heroes have items?
We can actually do this?
Yes.
Alternate? No. Oh, okay.
There was one cast where I think Falat did it like 50 times or something.
Uh-oh. Please. Please.
We've gone rogue.
BTS banned by Perfect World from ever observing again.
It's just tough for Navi to break out of this contain. I feel like, you know, some drafts are You might be behind, but you have the types of heroes that can still go out on the map. But
at least they have the Treant Protector living armor against all the chipping damage that Brute Mother usually does to towers. So that's a positive thing that we can say about the Navi's side right now. They have a support that can actually buy a lot of time for the Luna and the Shadow Fiend to farm up a Storm.
And they do have a very strong late game lineup. You still look at IG, end of the day, it's a Brood and Axe as two of their cores. A Shadow Demon Marana support.
Beastmaster and Treant Protector. Disable that goes through magic immunity. Very useful in the late game situation.
Yeah, it's a game where TA most likely 430 wants to get a Mansa style, maybe a BKB as well. There's a lot of magic damage.
Yeah, I feel like that's a scary thing with Navi's draft. Shadow Fiend and Luna, it's very vulnerable in the mid game as far as those blink ganks go, but it's both magic and physical damage in a late game scenario. You've got your auras from Luna as well as Beastmaster. That's where IG have to be careful that they don't let this snowball slow down too much. They have to kind of keep going at Navi, taking objectives, I feel, or at least finding pickoffs.
The gem is out for CH now. Very important against the Beastmaster. Remove all the pesky vision that Navi have. Contain them in their base, basically.
Yeah, you can see the Broods doing that bottom. Pushes in the lane, then we'll steal the jungle. And they're now holding serve up top. But Navi are down 8k gold, which is quite a bit for 18 minutes in. It's still by no means insurmountable. IG, as we've been saying, just cannot rest on their laurels here. What's their next move? Are there certain key items they need, levels they're waiting for? What do you think, Winter? Where do they look to go next?
They have Aegis, and it's all about just controlling the map with the gem they just purchased now and just try to pick off Navi repeatedly with the Mirana, the Axe, and Hovos. If he dies here, it's gonna be really bad.
He gets away before the trap comes in. I think that's where the gem allows him to take away all of Navi's vision. IG can find where heroes are on the map so easily using, like we've seen Spiderlings go around just on their own. They use the traps for vision and scouting as well, which is where they found Hovos there.
Just look at the mini-map. Like, it's covered in red on the Navi side. Those are all traps,
their main
webs.
plan for now is just going to be suffocating Navi in their base, containing them, and just win the game slowly but steadily in economic warfare. They can't really just high ground breach and just break in one push because of Treant Protector, but they can just slowly suffocate Navi and maybe even get a hand of
the Brood.
Maybe get a Midas on Tron to start things off, but Brood Mother is just out of there. He knows something is up. No one's on the map. And, well, he just ran all the way to his side of the map. Usually you see the Brute players hiding in trees in the webs.
Yeah, he's playing super safe.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That's the right call.
He's almost got his Necro 3. And that's something which will allow, like, less so for like a let's group up and 5-man push, but if he ever does get the space where he's alone on the map while his team's fighting, he can really threaten to take a tier 3 tower or Rax.
And the top net worth right now, June on the Axe at 10,000 net worth. Gonna TP bottom to defend this tower. Luo gonna show his face, and Tron is gonna TP in as well to give them assistance.
Oh, the glaive bounced onto June, so his
Arrow?
blink got disabled. Arrow though, searching.
Oh my god,
just barely missing on Vang score.
His blink was still on cooldown, so
yeah, the glaive I think bounced onto June at one point there, as well, so it got disabled.
Feels like Navi doing an okay job of at least stabilizing. They're not completely bottled up on their side of the map. They're out taking some farm.
They have the gem on the Beastmaster as well. But Gobla got a gem, and that's like an important part of coming back into the game. Removing the vision that IG has on them, and the gem will be useful to hunt down the Brute Mother as well. And the Mirana ultimate.
This feels like an essential item. All these traps, it's vision everywhere on the map.
The traps, the Brood, the wards, and they're going to get rid of a lot of these.
Yeah, they'll scout out that important ward near the tier 2 top tower, so should see, the Quillbar are going to finish that off, and makes IG's life a little bit more difficult without that vision.
They're just moving around well. Like, they don't send one hero off on his own. There's like, you wait until you see where IG are, then you go to the other side of the map, 3-4 heroes, farm a couple neutral camps, push out the lane. It's not a lot of farm, but it's getting whatever possible they can off the map.
Yeah, Tron is going to have his Midas pretty soon.
Yeah, securing that late game and just taking it
I think
to
it's
Navi.
a very good, it's the necessary option for the support Mirana.
There's nothing else he could get at this point that would be that important.
Yeah, and June is going to complete his Aghanims as well. Oh, he's actually not going for Aghanims. He went for a BKB instead for dealing against the Luna spell damage and obviously the Shadow Fiend as well.
I guess it was just a matter. I feel like this was an essential item. It was just whether he got it before or after the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, I was thinking he'd get it after the Aghanims because of the start he had, but he's gonna go for the safer option, obviously, not to die too much if he has BKB. He's not gonna be able to be taken down so easily.
Yeah, as we were mentioning, they have a lot of spell damage.
I feel like for IG, they should be pretty safe in knowing they can secure the next Aegis, but they need to make sure they don't just sit back and play too passively. They're going to keep up at least some control over the map, not let Na'Vi just be farming in 3-4 places and controlling their own jungle here. But that's going to get harder and harder. Funnick doing a good job pressuring top, and I mean, Na'Vi are really pressuring towers as much or even more than IG are right now.
Yeah, the thing is that there's a lot of easy towers to pressure. Tier 1 mid and bottom, and the Tier 2 top, whereas IG have taken almost every other tower. Only 2 remaining.
Yeah, Funnick's gonna last hit the top tower as well. Oh, it's not gonna get it,
You
but
jinxed him, Winter. You jerk. How much money do you have on IG?
Oh, he's the only one who bet on IG.
dot.
Quietly silent.
And Roche is gonna be
Suspicious.
Roche is gonna be up very soon. That's what IG's been waiting for this past time.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Controlling their enemies well, containing them, and just securing the Aegis would be their next biggest goal for IG. There's nothing much more they can do at this point apart from just try to amass more resources, get more farm on all of their heroes, and just contain contain Na'Vi in their base. That's like the best they could do right now.
They're being contained, but are they being contained enough? That's really the question for me.
It really feels like, I've got to say, Na'Vi continue to impress. Even playing from behind in this game here as they are, like 8,000 net worth
The
difference.
key hero is Beastmaster. Why? Because of the vision that the Hawk gives. Otherwise, they would be very, very cramped in their base. They have no idea where IG heroes are. And like again, the info that the Beastmaster Hawk gives is just really good in this sort of dire situation where Na'Vi is just contained.
The other thing is IG used up most/all of their smokes to actually get this advantage.
There
So
we
I think
go.
the
This
smoke
is the
they just
last
bought
one.
now is, that they probably just came up, and this is kind of a smoke that has to do something. If you look at like Vici Gaming earlier today when they beat Cloud9, it felt like they were so effective with their smokes. They weren't just using them in the early game to get like a single pick off. It was always at an important time. I feel like if IG had a smoke or two over the last 10 minutes, they could do more than just play this economic game. They could actually look to find some key kills.
Man, 12 kills in 24 minutes, and I feel like all of them in the first 10.
All of them basically when Axport is blinked at.
It has been very quiet, and I think that makes Na'Vi extremely happy.
Dire's bottom tower
Yep.
has been denied.
Heroes like Shadow Demon, Mirana, Axe, these heroes want to be clashing, not just sitting back and farming.
And here we go. The final smoke being used by IG. June is gonna be leading the charge with his new flashy BKB, and hopefully he gets a very good engage off, preferably on the Beastmaster, so that they take away Navi's teamfight control.
I think one of the nice, I mean, Beastmaster Hawks, even if you don't see where IG are, you can see where they're not. So if you scout the whole map and see nothing, you have a pretty good idea that, hey, they're coming for us, they're smoked up or doing
Is
something.
Na'Vi going to fight this? Do they feel strong enough? There's a Deso on TA. They got to move fast. They're moving towards the pit. Coming in hot. Illusion trying to scout them out, but Roche already down. Do Na'Vi still want to fight?
Definitely not.
That's very risky. They're starting to scatter, but they're not moving that quickly. Actually stopping to fight a TA trap. Now Vansco's going to get caught out. Blake, call initiation. He's killed before the chop can even come through. They're not done yet. Requiem from Dendi. But 430 on the chase. He's been isolated. Meanwhile, the Necrobug trying to finish off Chizbug. One more swipe will get the kill as June goes for a call. Not sure what that was on, but that hero able to escape in time. So they only end up losing the Rubik, but I believe it did cost them the Shadow Fiend's 10-second BKB as well. Or was it the Luna?
Axis used his
High ground.
BKB.
Yeah, it's high ground push. Luna hasn't used his BKB.
Okay, I'm just hallucinating. then.
Shadow Fiend as well still has his BKB.
Okay,
intact.
good. So they're going to need it for the fight.
Just the Axis who's on cooldown. But
Okay.
I'm not sure if they can
Yeah,
go
they
high
can't.
ground too
They
easily.
can't brute force this easily.
Maybe they go for the tier 2 mid. That's something that I see Na'Vi having a hard time defending.
I feel like, again, that just wasn't like effective use of your smoke at this point of the game. If you can take Roshan, you should be able to take Roshan off the pressure on the map. You shouldn't have to smoke into Roshan. IG shouldn't need to sneak a Roshan. They should just be able to use their advantage in map control to take a Roshan. And as a result, they're kind of, even with an Aegis in hand, it feels like they're just going to go back to what they were doing with the last Aegis, which is just trying to out-farm Na'Vi. They're still looking okay here. They still are actually out-farming Na'Vi, but they're not looking like they're going to be pushing high ground.
Hover's in trouble.
Uh-oh.
my
Top
God.
dire jungle. He will get caught out. Blink calls there. The arrow follows this up, and despite living armor, he's going to be in the danger zone as soon as 430 hits him. Oh, man, that hurts. That Deso doing all kinds of work.
This is not what you want for Hovos, but he's trying to farm in the enemy jungle because knowing that his team needs the safer farm as well. Vangsko wants to work on that Blink Dagger, and the rest of the team needs farm as well. Shadow Fiend, Dandy, Beastmaster wants farm as well. So he's taking the more dangerous route and he got punished.
They're coming for Dendy. The Spiderling starting to try and slow him down a bit. Luo on the chase. Now the trap. He has the BKB. He'll just TP out immediately. But Axe is there. Where's the Blink call? Must have been calling.
No, he had... Oh. He had the Blink.
Was it disabled?
No.
He just didn't use it.
He didn't know the Shadow Fiend was teleporting, I guess.
Bit slow to react, though. They had at least, like, 2 seconds of vision, I would say.
It's like... Shit happens, okay.
Yeah.
Just about
That's a big escape for Dendy.
Yeah, killing Hovos, then Dandy dying there as well after popping 10-second BKB. That is huge. But they didn't get the kill.
And the fact they killed Hovos allowed them to kind of push out these lanes a bit better. They've got completely de-warded most of the Radiant jungle. Na'Vi now very limited on vision.
Funnick has really been doing a good job.
Being pesky at the top lane yet again.
Yeah. And with a Necro 3, he can legitimately pressure the Tier 3 tower. Someone for IG needs to get back. They can't just go for this Tier 2 mid without defending top.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the tower doesn't die, but it is going to take a lot of damage. It's already at half health. Necrobook will despawn soon, though. And as soon as they back, Na'Vi will leave their base, but it's one of those games where they're just far enough behind that you could see IG winning this by starving them, but they're not so far behind that they're definitely out of it. They're just kind of at in the gray area, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, and IG, like, if they go ultra late game, they're already starting to transition Chuan into at least a semi-carry with the Midas pickup. It's not just going to be those 3 core heroes. Brood is kind of one... Brood with a Necrobook, though, is going to fall off a significant amount, but TA is itemizing for the late game. You've got Axe, who's still a really strong late game hero because Berserker's Calls goes through the BKB of Luna as well as Shadow Fiend, so I feel like this is still not going to be easy for Na'Vi, even if they get to an ultra late game stage.
Well, I think they'd rather it's ultra late game than fighting now, though. That's for sure.
Yep.
Then they are closing in on some new items. They just get the Manta on Havost, who's now farming his own woods. He might get caught out, though, scouted by the Brood.
He's gonna die.
Oh, Havost in trouble. He has the BKB. He'll go for the TP as their Blink call in time.
Nearby.
There you go. The call and the death of Havost once more chopped up by June. You do have to take some risks to get out of the base, but his risks are just not paying off.
Yeah, it's gonna bound to happen though because they're being contained in the base. It's gonna get caught, and Luna is the one that feels strong enough, has a lot of movement speed both around the map to just try and get some farm outside. And now the push comes and Luna doesn't have
buyback. 40 seconds on the sidelines. The living armor rather easily dealt with, but they don't have creeps, so they have to wait for this next wave.
And Funnick again already starting to pressure that top lane. It's a constant trade-off. Like Avos gets picked off, but it was like, if it's not him, it's maybe Funnick getting picked off at top. But either way, Na'Vi are pressuring one or the other lanes. And only 1 or 2 of these heroes can be kind of getting counter-ganked at a time. So, Brood CP forced out, and it looks like IG once again repelled. They're not going to go for a high ground push or anything.
Broodmother is changing her territory now. Going up to the top lane, where there's still a tier 2, and this way he can actually stop the Beastmaster from constantly pressuring top.
Yeah, the other lanes still have tier 2s. So, they will not be so easy to pressure. Luo not wanting these Necrobooks.
Blink Dagger purchased on CH. Ferrari has a completed Manta and 1.5k gold. Yeah, an X Scepter done on the X. Chuan still needs a transition item after the Midas that he picked up quite some time ago.
It's like a Maelstrom, do you think, so he can start actually...
Yeah, Maelstrom would be good so he can farm faster.
Yeah.
This feels like the quietest game of the tournament. It's 16 kills in 31 minutes. It's been mostly bloody action-packed games.
Shows you how crucial.
The teams are getting more serious.
Yeah,
You could tell now it's like, it's Na'Vi IG, your TI2 rematch. They know that neither of them is guaranteed top
Oh
8.
no.
It feels
Moonlight
very
Shadow.
tense. This
Moonlight Shadow, Hovos is up there again.
It honestly feels to me like in some ways the first real game of the tournament.
Oh
as
no.
weird as
Hovos-
that may sound.
game. Yeah, when it comes down to securing a top 8 position, this is getting.
They're going to
big.
find someone too. They
Oh,
walk right
not
into the
Havok.
tree. Blink, call is
Oh,
there.
this
and
is good.
Yeah,
this is
they
good.
get the tree. No, they're
This
going
is
top
good.
though. Onto the Broodmother. They might be able to get a jump here. They started off with a roar. This would be the better kill if they can claim it. Now an Eclipse forced out. He BKBs and tries to run. Oh no, they can't let Luo escape.
Yes,
He's
the
low,
web.
but he's not dead just yet. Webs again. They will. He will fall. Now they need to TP the hell out as quickly as possible. And end of the day, it's a tree for a Brood. Did they lose their gem in that last fight? Yes, they did. Chuan now has a double gem. So with the gem going IG's way, perhaps it's not an even trade.
I feel like the Axe could really benefit from like a Boots of Travel or something, so we can actually get to the brood a lot faster at this stage. It's not an item you often think of getting as like a.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Against the Beastmaster that's constantly being pesky at the top lane. as
Yeah, if you see like like that situation there, I feel like if Axe could have got TP'd up there, suddenly they can look to, even if Brood still dies, the Axe can at least turn it around, keep him in place, and then get some counter kills.
It feels like a good BOT game in general because of the way the teams are playing.
Oh yeah.
Na'Vi are trying to stall and avoid those big clashes. IG wanting to force them and punish the split push.
Yeah, Chuan,
Mobility is really the name of the game for both teams right now.
Chuan is. He just purchased an ultimate up. Lincoln's might actually be good versus Beastmaster, but I'm not so sure though. Feels like the Hex would be the best choice here.
There is a bit of a setup being attempted. Now Dendi has picked up Butterfly, June. Blinking in will be short. Well, Nature's Guise him as he retreats, but not sure how much Nature's Guise will do for you this game with the Necro Book, the double gem.
Have Navi picked up a new gem yet? I feel like they almost have to.
No, they don't.
They're pretty poor. Well, let's see. How are our supports doing? Rubik almost has Blink, so he'll want to complete that.
Maybe Funnick buys one, but I guess he's got the Necro 3. The gem is available.
And there we go. The Boots of Travel on the Beastmaster. Not the Axe, but Beastmaster could also use this to great effect with the amount of split pushing that he's been going. He's gonna get a Vlad's for his team as well, which would increase everyone's armor, more damage for Shadowfiend and Luna.
And I have to say, Dendi is catching up. He was once behind all 3 cores of IG, suddenly barely behind 430. And you go late enough with a Shadow Fiend as the centerpiece of your team fight. That's tough for a TA to keep up.
They are having better late game, I would say, Navi. Shadowfiend plus Luna.
And they have, it's really just one damage dealer in the team fights. Brood you can't count on at all, and it's a TA.
Brood is
Pretty
like
much a melee hero against a Beastmaster and
you
a
never
Tria
count the Brood.
Protector.
You never count the Brood. The Brood is always never there.
Yeah, she may be rats, but the more that you look at IG's composition, it feels like a very tenuous hold, even though they're up 12,000 gold.
Yeah. It's so much is going to come down to like late game, whether they can hit a big 5-second arrow, or whether Axe can get the call that he needs for a fight.
They are going to TP out that Luna top lane, and now she's just going to get to farm up a big old wave. Lua will be forced back here, it looks like.
This is a risky move for Lou. I'm surprised he's playing that aggressive. Funnick, I think, needs a Blink Dagger too.
Yeah, if he
this
gets
game.
Blink as his next item here, which
He wants-
at that point he can really punish the Brood.
I feel like even over the Vlad, just like Vlad's, I guess ultimately he may want to buy since neither of the supports will be able to afford it too easily. But if it's like a scenario like that, if he has a Blink, he's got a much higher chance of catching out the Brood.
It's not that good of a Vlad's game. The damage jar is nice, but nobody's going to benefit from the lifesteal. So yeah, I would agree. I think Blink is your next item here.
Forever.
There we go. The Aegis, the third Aegis going to IG's way. What can I do with this? Tier 2 mid, Tier 2 top still up. Those two are the nearest possible towers that they want to bring down right now.
And you can see Havosta's catching up too. He's got 16k net worth as well. The clock is really ticking for IG. I feel like this is the Aegis. If they don't get a huge lead or take a Brax with this Aegis, it might just be where the game swings in Navi's favor.
I feel like if they take a Rax, it's probably because they win the game. Because to take a Rax, Navi should have buyback on both Dendi and Evolve, so it's going to be like a
top lane.
Oh, BKB in here just to
Almost
deal
got-
with the push, it looks like.
They wanted to raw him as well with the
Yeah.
Beastmaster there.
Tower has fallen.
But they're winning in terms of structural damage. They
Yeah.
still have 2 tier 2s matching IG, and they're the first ones to claim a tier 3.
Yep.
The Beastmaster pick in particular is... I mean, you mentioned the map control, and now we're seeing the split push. It's paying off.
IG drawing lines on the map say, forget pushing mid lane, let's push top lane, since that's a lane Navi are always counter pushing and causing us problems in.
Navi could just as easily go bottom, though. They can just go for the tier 2 here.
This is where I feel Axe still no boots of travel, I believe, and that's really hurting them.
I mean,
Okay, there, he just picked them up now. This is
you know, it's
crucial.
crazy. This Axe has 17k net worth, but I would say overall the Beastmaster is having the bigger impact on the game at 10k net worth.
Yeah, I fully agree. At least since the Axe's like small little 10-minute window where he initially got the blink, since then it's been Beastmaster applying pressure everywhere.
Obviously, the laning stage was all about the Axe.
Bottom lane, he just got his blink. Possibly that he wants to try to go for the Ferrari TA here.
They just wait to see these TPs. As soon as they see heroes TPing one way, they just go the other.
The Hawk sword, everything, so Navi know when and where it's safe.
Yeah, this is Navi's just playing ping pong.
Funny exactly just that. It was bottom lane, now he's top with the boots of travel. He's a bit low on mana though, so I'm not sure how long he can actually stay at this top lane.
And it's a part of the game where you have to be careful with the Brood. You are feeding a lot of gold to Luna and Shadow Fiend if you're not. You could tell IG starting to feel a little frustrated. They're going to go for the smoke gank. Or not smoke gank, Moonlight Shadow gank rather. Let's see if they can find an opening. Havos being tracked now through the trees. Backup is coming in the form of the Rubik, but maybe they just both get caught for this.
Dead.
BKB already popped. Are they going to go in with the Blink Call? He gets off the Eclipse though. June not able to BKB in time. Havos will survive.
Thanks, call saved him there with the leaf.
And then blinks out to safety. Well played.
Wow. I mean, June could have BKB, but I guess he didn't have vision of the Rubik, so he didn't know that he would need to.
Yeah, they have that one hill ward, but I think it's out of range of the left side of the
Yeah,
trees.
and it's nighttime. Luna sees you before you see her.
Yeah, you saw Havos BKB. Well, just splash from the Hawk to the Ancients. That's pretty funny. Uh-oh. Dendy's got to be careful here. He'll BKB. He now flutters.
Oh,
But there's rotation coming in. The Beastmasters arrive. This is going to be a kill on June, it looks like. And if they get it, it's a big one. He cheeses. But they do force it out. They force out the cheese. Can there be a counterplay? Disruption. Purge onto Funnick. Dendy, the one they really want. Dendy, will they be able to get him? He's pretty tanky now with the Butterfly, and he's going to Requiem. Unwinds, incinerates Chizbug. Now Chuan coming into the fray as well. That Beastmaster, not a whole lot they can do to help Dendy. They may just have to sack him. He desperately wants to get in, but it seems there's no way. Nearly killing June as he pops in the same time top. Navi counter pushing out, desperately trying to get these lanes going against them.
You can see how, without TA's the only one who stands a chance against Dendy with the MKB. Dendy with Butterfly is just, he just couldn't be touched there. The Axe shouted him like, okay, we got Dendy alone. Even without Beastmaster coming in for a roar, that was going to be a really tough kill for them.
A lot of these heroes just fall off. Shadow Demon, Mirana. There's no great illusion-based carry on IG. Maybe disrupting the Luna or the Shadow Fiend will be a game changer, but
Luna.
Well,
I would say
he
Luna.
used disruption there, but he wasn't even microing the illusions were standing there not attacking. I'm like, what are you doing, Chizbug? Gotta use those. Hit Dendy.
it's still a... They're just not taking objectives for IG. They have Aegis. They already blew their cheese. And they have not taken a single tower in like 20-plus minutes.
The tower, the tier 2 at top is just full HP again thanks to the tree.
Oh, Havost is going... Looks like an Assault Caress here, perhaps, as he picks up a Hyperstone. This is a... If he goes that route... I mean, we talked about a Vlad's for the plus armor, but this one will synergize, I think, better with the double ranged carry composition. And something that makes the Shadow Fiend and Luna very scary later on.
Yeah, they want something to help them fight the TA, and at this point, evasion not going to work against the MKB, so for Havost himself, it's going to be the next best thing.
And both teams getting AC. Broodmother picking it up. Good synergy with the Axe TA. This tier 2 under pressure, though. I don't know if Dendy's going to be able to hold it himself. 430 clearing the wave, but you could already see in the bottom lane the Beastmaster going to work in the top. Havos doing the same. This is very irritating. June, though, does get eyes on Funnick. He's going to toss out some axes. Trying to chase him down, but a bit too far away, so he'll settle for trying to kill off the Necro Books. But these illusions, I mean, you've got Luna illusions all the way up top. They're just ratting beautifully. And now the AC picked up, they'll be able to do it even faster in the future. This is just getting more and more difficult for IG. It's rare to see a team up like this and feel like they're the ones who are losing control, but they are.
They don't really have as good wave clear as Navi. The Luna and Shadow Fiend just pushing and controlling the map much better with the Beastmaster Hawk. Like, the Hawk was the crucial thing in their part of the draft, which enables the whole team. This was the same heroes that EG ran the last game. Treant Protector and Beastmaster giving like vision in the whole map, like from PPD. So it's very similar in the sense that map control and your cores can farm everywhere.
It feels like they're just so close. You get like the one more item on Dendi and Havos, maybe the Satanic on each, and I don't know if IG can burst them. And if you don't burst these two, you lose the fight.
Yeah, they need this. This is the last smoke again for them. Came off cooldown. It seems like they're not going to find anyone.
You know, if Na'Vi go on to win this game, it's just such a turn of events for this team. Yeah, they've been winning, but it's normally dominating early. To take a game late into kind of that chess match territory and not make mistakes at all for 42 minutes.
Oh no, if they actually find them
Am I going to jinx them?
Oh, no.
I better stop talking or
They
the
see
Na'Vi
the
fans
ads.
will have my head.
Look at it's just a full pathway down the trees there they've cut.
It's their home away from home. They just need to set up, you know, a little plasma TV here, a snack bar, mini fridge.
Oh, they're looking for them.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Well, who's looking for whom? June gonna get caught out. Eclipse used by Havos, but then he turns tail and runs. He says, no, I'm not touching that. Well, this will cost them Funnick. And an Eclipse. Did IG even see the Eclipse getting used there? Not 100% sure.
They knew it turned night, so probably
Yeah, that's true.
So but even with the Eclipse down, what can IG do at this stage? They can't really go for any objectives quick enough.
The
and
rat's already happening top.
yeah, the Rats already pushing out all the lanes. Well, Hovos is gonna be able to push the middle lane down fairly fast with the illusions as well. Skadi is gonna be completed by Dandy.
Okay.
He has the point booster and Orb of Venom and enough gold for
What do you think about the Scotty here? Generally, the big item after these is the Satanic, I would say.
Yeah, Skadi is fine for the stats and the slow, so you can actually kite the TA around in the fight. IG gonna take down the tier 2 at the middle lane. At least this has been like 15 minutes, 20 minutes since IG last took a tower.
Oh, Havos even
Havos
BKB.
is really chewing through these BKB charges.
Yeah. And Tia with a Daedalus here. So Ferrari getting just close to maxed out now with his items.
Another Moonlight Shadow.
The Hex from Miranda, that's one way of at least jumping on these BKB carries.
That's where they need to end the game soon. He's got very little room to grow, and it's not like the Mirana is going to be carrying this at this rate. Even if Chuan gets 2-3 more items, by that point, Na'Vi are 6-7 slotted on both a Luna and a Shadow Fiend, with Inner Beast.
Not to mention, the overgrowth is just going to be a problem for the TA and the Broodmother later on. Like, I don't think they can actually take a head-on clash right now.
They're very melee-centric lineup in terms of their damage dealers. Axe, Brood, TA. It's just tough to run in on Na'Vi. I feel like this is kind of an anti-melee draft in a lot of ways. The tree you mentioned, Roar, the boars to slow you down a bit. You're running into Requiem, damage reduction and offensive firepower.
It feels like the disruptions from Chizpug are actually going to be really crucial in these upcoming
He
fights.
needs to get it on the Luna to deal as much damage as possible. If he can get it on the Luna in the middle of the fights, and the illusion will deal so much damage to his team, that will probably be one of the things that might win them a crucial team fight in the future.
DDTA. Wow, it's a dream.
Uh-oh. June coming in, looking for that initiation, but he gets lifted. Vayne score is ready. So too is Havos. He gets off the Eclipse. BK Bean, but getting pounded into by 430. This could be trouble. Goblak dies before casting a spell. He gets one-shotted by a crit. Can't even overgrowth. Na'Vi getting run over. 2 dead. Dendi Requiem dropping the Requiem from the sidelines. Now blinking from June. Doesn't have the call. It's a triple kill for 430. Well, that's one way to lose the fight. He dies before he can even cast an overgrowth.
The DDTA with Daedalus. Oh my god. I think even without a DD, that fight goes a similar way. He even had Manta Cell the whole time. So you overgrowth, he just Mantas out and continues to wreak havoc. So
I think if he got the Manta, got the overgrowth off, even if with the Manta, Goblak probably would have saved his teammates though.
Yeah.
If he cast the overgrowth. At least he will be the only one casualty, maybe with Bang
There
Score.
is buyback on the Luna. The other support's respawning soon, but soon might not be good enough. He's going to have to use this, so they're losing 1, possibly 2 lanes of Rax. Top Rax is protected. They'll use Leap for the additional attack speed.
Boost of Travel on cooldown.
IG.
Boost of Travel on cooldown for Funnick.
Uh-oh. This is
my
problematic. He's going to walk back bottom lane, but it might be too late. Where's that buyback from Havos? Still not using it. As June blinks forward, he finally blows the buyback, but IG could just walk away. Avos now trying to engage into the fight. IG retreating as a squad, and Funnick blinking in. He'll go for the roar. Onto June, at least 430, free to dish and deliver. Pounding into Dendi, bringing him low, and now a great call by June. Catches out 4. This could be it for Na'Vi. They're getting shredded and absolutely slaughtered in the base. An arrow connecting on Havos. It's a dieback, and in a matter of seconds, Na'Vi, they played it perfectly for 30+ minutes. But 2 bad fights in the space of 2, and out they go.
Winter's dancing here in the studio. He gave me this look like, ha, suck it, Mr. Parker. Like that's what I read in your eyes.
I thought you even said you thought IG would win.
I was behind Na'Vi this time.
Okay, you said you thought IG could win.
Winter was the only IG believer, I believe, here at the studio. Everyone else has
everyone else took Na'Vi. I was the only one who think IG would win.
Looking at the Bruno Magic board, there's a lot of Na'Vis written down.
They really could have won this game, but just one bad fight.
You know your IG. It was like day 2 yesterday. You're like, they just lost 2 in a row. Chuan's going to bounce back and make his team win. And
he's
today,
just a Chuan fanboy. Come on.
You fanburger.
Good call, buddy. Good call.
Well, with that, IG and Na'Vi